Hello ladies and gentlemen, it is nice to see you. Welcome on back to a live watch-along this evening as Celtic get ready to take on Sporting Clube de Portugal. Sporting Lisbon to some, however, I will not have it. That is not their name. It's not Sporting Lisbon. No such club exists. Celtic play Sporting this evening in our fourth pre-season friendly. And after the disappointment of losing on Saturday, I hope we're cool, calm and collected and ready to go again and ready to take on the Portuguese Giants tonight. They are one of the biggest clubs in the country and one of the biggest in Europe as well at that. A massive side, and I'm looking forward to this. Now the chat is already flying, so I will get to that in a brief moment or so, but before we get to that, I may as well, and I'd be better off showing you the team for tonight's game, because that's what you're all here for, I suppose, to see who's playing. You'd rather that than look at me. Here is the Celtic team for tonight. And it is as close to full strength as you could get at this moment in time, I would say. A couple of players obviously on the bench that you could dispute as in Celtic's strongest team, and of course Cameron Carter-Vickers still missing through injury, but nonetheless a very strong side for Celtic. Kickoff is roughly 9 minutes away, so we're going to get a wee bit of chat beforehand. Schmeichel is back. He is in goals for Celtic this evening. He returns after an extended break following his international duty with Denmark. Back four is Tony Ralston in place of Alistair Johnston, who's yet to return. Dane Murray in place of Cameron Carter-Vickers, who once again is yet to return. Liam Scales and Kieran Tierney. The midfield three, a very interesting one to start the game this evening. Engels has been dropped to the bench. Callum McGregor is in with Rio Hatate and Benjamin Negren, who gets the start in today's game. We're going to see him played in that more advanced midfield role that he was playing with Nordsjælland last season. Very excited to see how that goes, albeit pre-season friendly and not much to... Can you hear the dogs barking? Very ignorant, very rude, in fact. That's why cats are better. And front three, James Forrest, Dyson Maeda and Adam Ida. So that is the 11 today. Of course, shows you where we still need to improve, shows you where we need depth. The bench: Sinisalo, Doohan, Clark, Rice, Trusty, Yang, McCowan, Osmond, Tillio, Kenny, Inamura, Engels, Summers, Montgomery, McPherson, Ewer, McCardle, Donovan and Isiguzo. Now, I don't know if this friendly will be the same as the first few. I'm not expecting to see a full 11 change at half time, but he might do it. I don't know. He might still do a full 11 change at half time. I have a feeling this one might be played a bit more like a normal game. I think players might be given more than 45 minutes, but the manager might have already said completely the complete opposite of that. That is just me going off my own gut feeling. There is the team this evening. I assume that people are going to join late, and throughout the entirety of the first half we'll get who's playing. Help them out when they ask, if you possibly can. Somebody copy and paste the team down and just put it in at every given moment. But I'm excited to see this. I think before I get to the chat, before I get to all your points and questions, what I'm most excited to see is, of course, Benji Negren. I'm looking forward to seeing him playing in that midfield role and to see how it links up with Rio Hatate and Callum McGregor. I'm excited to see Adam Ida in from the start for the first time in this pre-season. He got a goal on Saturday. He's already said he's set himself a 30-goal mark for himself this season, so I want to see him off to a flat. I know obviously the pre-season goals aren't going to count in that, but I'd like to see him off to a fly. And of course I'm looking forward to seeing Kieran Tierney again after what I thought was a solid 45 minutes from him in the first game. Look, it's a really different test for Celtic tonight, a much different test. The fact is, we're playing one of the best sides in recent European football. You know, that this is a team that under Ruben Amorim went on to be one of the best Portuguese sides in recent years. Kind of fell off a cliff a wee bit, went through another managerial change very shortly after Ruben Amorim's departure. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a tough game. I have not seen the Sporting team as of yet, but I will get to that when I can. Anyway, It's all about having a wee catch up with you guys, having some fun, and that's what we're here to do first and foremost. It's pre-season, it's a wee bit of a laugh. Of course, the very serious nature of everything that's going on is now taking place. You know, people are getting worried, people are getting anxious, people are getting angry at how Celtic have went through their pre-season. And how they've went through, particularly the signings of players and how it's not been good enough. So that's going to probably be a lot of the conversation that dominates tonight. I'm just going to quickly go and see if I can find the Sporting Lisbon team, and I'll run through it. I've just called them Sporting Lisbon, and I said I wouldn't do that because that's not their name. I'm going to go through the Sporting team if I possibly can here for the game tonight. It's not on FortMob, so I better check their Twitter account. How long are we away? 5 minutes till kick-off. That's good. Okay. That's not too bad. I'm seeing a lot of comments flying in. I will try and get to them in a moment. Don't you worry. Sporting CP. Let's see if they put up a starting 11 graphic. I hope so. That would be nice to see. I mean, like, what's happening with, like, Gyökeres? Is he... Right, here is the 11 for them. Rui Silva, Ivan Fresneda, young FM star, Eduardo Quaresma, Jerison Juste at centre-half as well, Matthias Reis, one of the best young one of the best left-backs in Europe in recent form, Morten Hulman, fantastic midfielder, João Simões, Pedro Gonçalves, one of my favourite players in European football, in fact, a fantastic player. That's a good team they're playing. Jenny Catamo, Francisco Trincao, who's another great winger, and Rodrigo Ribeiro. So that is the team. Their subs don't include Gyökeres. He's not there. I mean, obviously he's in the midst of that move to Arsenal. So yeah, but it's a strong 11 that they're playing. Pedro Gonçalves, keep an eye on him. What a player! Big fan of Pedro Gonçalves. But anyway, who cares? We're here to watch the Celtic. This Celtic. Right, okay. On that note, I'm turning my attention to the chat, and before kick-off, we'll have a wee bit of conversation, shall we? Because that would be nice. Did you hear about Lenny Agbear leaving Celtic yesterday to Rotherham on a 3-year deal? Yes, I did. I did indeed. Good luck to him. Obviously, was never going to really get there at Celtic, so I think Rotherham will be a decent move for him. And I wish him the best of luck. When is the game starting? It is a 7:30 kickoff. It's nice to prove all the people wrong in my comment section who were trying to tell me it was 6:30. Ha! You don't know how time zones work. Yes, it's a 7:30 kickoff, and sorry to anybody who I may have offended by telling them they don't know how fucking time zones work. I am going to just get my stream back up and running. I've enjoyed these. I've really enjoyed these wee pre-season friendlies. They've been fun. To sit and talk absolute nonsense through. It's nice to let your hair down and have a laugh, you know. We are just waiting for the teams to emerge from the tunnel. Will you eat the hat this time if Palma stays? Listen, that wasn't my words. I said I'll eat my hat if he becomes a guy that has a part to play in this team. I didn't say if he stays, so we're not changing the conditions of my hat-eating ways, right? But I will. If he ends up having to play a lot of... if he has to play over 10 games this season for Celtic, I will eat this hat. There you go. I've moved the goalpost ever so slightly. What do you think of the new Superman film, says Thomas? I really liked it. I thought it was good. The original is still my favourite, but I really liked it. Much better than the fucking nonsense that Zack Snyder put out there. They were Snyders. I liked it. It was good. Just not enough Clark Kent in it for me. I love all the telephone, the tune playing, and we didn't get enough of that. That was the only thing I didn't like about it too much. Thank God Gyökeres isn't here, says Matthew. Yeah, I'm pretty glad he's not here as well. Going to watch Linfield and Shelbourne tonight, says Joseph. Enjoy. Go on the Shell. Hope they get a result. Score prediction. I don't really care, to be honest. I'll go 2-0 to Celtic. Listen, we beat Man City, we beat Chelsea, we can beat Sporting. It says 6:30 on Google. Yeah, well, don't trust Google with everything. And they've probably not translated it over from the Portuguese time zone. And even at that, are they not in the same time zone as us? Now that I think about it. Are Portugal not in our time zone? I thought it's like Lisbon and London are the same time, and Dublin are the same time zones. Now that I think about it. Well, don't get your facts off Google. That's all I can say to that. Thank you, Adam, for the first donation of the stream. What an absolute legend. A channel legend at that. Saying, received the shirts earlier on, sir. Appreciate the fast service. My pleasure. On that note, If you're a size medium and you collect Celtic shirts, check out my Vinted. I am selling some shirts that no longer fit me, that will never ever fit me again. Most of them, all of them basically, in cracking condition. And they're getting sold on my Vinted right now. Adam picked up a couple of them and he has received them today. So if you want them, go over to my Vinted, buy them. Would help me out so I could replace them in large. Anyway, the teams are coming out from the tunnels now, so kick-off is moments away. It looks like a decent enough crowd in the Estadio Algarve tonight. Just to remind you, this isn't Sporting's home ground. We aren't playing in Lisbon. We're playing in the Estadio Algarve, which is a neutral venue for both teams. Hence the reason that Celtic will be playing in the green and white hoops this evening, and Sporting are playing in black. So we're in our home shirt. Let's see. Connor. All right, Ryan. See the players. Thank you for being a member for 3 months, first of all. All right, Ryan. See the players who Celtic have signed. How many of them does Rodgers want? And if we sign Jeffrey Schlupp, it's a joke. I don't know. You'd have to ask Brendan himself, I'm afraid, Connor. I couldn't tell you the answer to that. Yeah, I thought Lisbon is the same time zone. I thought Portugal was in the same time zone as us. It's dead weird. You always assume when you go to Portugal that they're going to be an hour ahead like Spain, but they're not. You know, it's the same time zone as here. I always forget that about Portugal. Teams are now shaking hands, led by, I believe Sporting are being led out by Morten Hjulmand this evening. He is the captain for them. There is no names in the back of the shirt. Celtic being led out by Callum McGregor, of course. I'm looking forward to this. This should be fun. The game is on Celtic TV, Martin. Yes, indeed. So on Celtic TV, and you can have my nonsense commentary here. It looks like there's a good amount of Celtic fans who've travelled, who are there for the game tonight. I'd imagine that if you were a Celtic fan who happened to be on holiday in Portugal at this time and you were close enough to the Algarve, which most people would go to Portugal for, then you'd probably get yourself over to this. Because it'd be a lovely wee night, I'd assume. Weather's looking lovely. Mark saying, according to Motherwell, they have not received one bid for Miller. What are we waiting for? The only plausible answer that I could give you, Mark, the only thing that I could potentially think of is just the same as what everybody else is waiting for, and it's pushing Motherwell to the last possible minute so that they can get the best deal, which I don't agree with. I think Celtic should be moving. They should have moved last month for Lennon Miller, and if they were the first club to bid, then good, so be it. But I think there might be a wee game of cat and mouse going on, because Motherwell are not going to pass up on making money for Lennon Miller, and clubs will know the later they bid, the cheaper they'll get him. And I think that is the only plausible answer that I can give you as to why it's taken so long for bids to go flying in for him. But Celtic should be in, they should be acting on it, and it's a shocker that we're not. Even if he's not so keen on the move to Celtic, Celtic should still do something about it, and they should still try. You know, should still try. David, hello, how you doing? Ryan, would you agree that Marco Tilio has been a bit of an upset? I was at the cup game against Falkirk and he came on for a few minutes but actually looked really promising in that short time. I just think that there's probably a reason why he's not had extended opportunities, David, and it's not my place to comment as a coach or a manager on this because I'm not the coach or manager, but there is a huge gulf between Australian football and football here, and that's just Jason Cummins went over to Australia and ripped it up. You know what I mean? The standard of football isn't that great. I don't think Marco Tilio is cut out for it at Celtic's level, sadly. But I would have liked to have seen him get more of a chance, David. And I mean that with all due respect to the Australians, by the way. And I know there'll be a few watching. Evening, Nathan. Nice to see you. Right, we're about to kick off here in Portugal. Keep your questions and such flying in through the stream. I'll try and do a good balance between conversation and commentary. Celtic are kicking off the game via Benji Negren. We're just waiting on the referee's whistle. It is the Portuguese FA refereeing over this game this evening, so we'll get a good look at how things are. Remember the other day, they were very lenient, and the whistle goes. We are underway in Portugal for Sporting against Celtic. Celtic start the game with the ball, and straight away Liam Scales plays a bullet of a pass to Dane Murray, which he has to totally readjust himself for, because we all know that Liam Scales is so good at passing the ball directly to somebody's feet. But Celtic pinging the ball about to start off this game, to be quite honest. And I see TJ in the chat saying, good test for Dane Murray. It absolutely is. This is probably a much better game to try and judge somebody like Dane Murray to see if he's at the standard required. Listen, I'm not saying that Dane Murray will be thrust into any European games anytime soon, but he's going up against top quality players here. He's going up against the likes of Francisco Trincao, the likes of Pedro Gonçalves. He's going up against top talents from the continent, and that's a lot better than seeing him play against, and with all due respect, Queen's Park players or Cork City players, we get a real judgment of how he would fare against big opposition. But we'll see how he goes on throughout the game. We are a minute by, and Sporting have the ball back just now, passing it around their back line. As they try and advance the ball further up the park. As I said, I'll try and keep the chat and conversation between us flowing as we watch this game. Hold on, Celtic have won the ball in the middle in a decent position. Callum McGregor forced to drag it out wide. Nobody there for support. It goes out for a Celtic throw-in. Aaron, hello. Do you reckon the partnership with Ayr will actually do anything, or should we just give up with the academy Brentford style? I wouldn't give up with the academy. I think that would be an insult to the club and so many great people who have came through the club. It would be an insult to the likes of Tommy Burns. It would be an insult to people who have been so integral to growing that academy over the years and just so integral to Celtic. I think it would be an insult to just give up on it. However, I fear the likes of a partnership with Ayr United does nothing for us. And I think that complete overhaul and strategy rethinking needs to be done. But I don't know what the answer to that is in this country. Scotland is at a point right now where we're not producing top footballers. We produce one in how many? You know, Lennon Miller's coming through just now, but you know, we are not producing as many as we should be. And that all starts from grassroots all the way up, but it's not a Celtic problem. It's of course Celtic are part of the problem. They're not producing good enough players, but it's Rangers aren't producing good enough players. Aberdeen aren't producing good enough players. It's happening everywhere. But I wouldn't give up on it. I just think it would be an insult to people who have given so much of their life to this club to do things at that level. Sporting Lisbon having a nice wee bit of possession at the moment. Celtic trying to get tore in about it. What I will say, and I see a couple of people bringing up the thing about Lennon Miller and what his dad says, and of course I've seen it. Of course we spoke about it on this channel, and I think there's basically zero chance of Lennon Miller coming to Celtic, especially after his father's comments. But at the end of the day, his father and him are two different people, and conversations are yet to happen. We're hearing that there's not even been a bid made for him yet at Motherwell. You know, Celtic can change the boy's mind. You know, we have the power to do that, and at the end of the day, it's not his dad making the decision. So, you know, we'll just need to wait and see. On that note, just talking about Tommy Burns, because I see Gillen asking the question, would I recommend the Tommy Burns story? And I said I would give you my review on the last live stream. Hold on. Sporting gone forward, cleared away by Liam Scales, only as far as back out to the Sporting winger, as they still sit in our final third, looking to create another chance. Back and forth passing down their left-hand side as they look to make something. Celtic trying to press James Forrest, just standing off a little bit. And now Sporting going back again, moving it down. Going in the overlap, but it's out for a Celtic goal kick. Very quickly, because I've not managed to give my review to anybody bar the members yet, bar the 118 Thunder Club. If you have the opportunity when it's next on at the Kings, you must go and see the Tommy Burns story. You must go and see it. It was absolutely magnificent. And hold on, Celtic are charging forward here. Is that Benji Negri? He slips it in for Dyson Maeda. Maeda finds Ida. That's a terrible miss. That's a terrible miss from Adam Ida. It's a shocker of a miss. I don't know if he's taking that on his weak foot or not, but that is a poor miss from the big man. It was a really well done attack from Celtic as well. We charged right through the middle. I think it was Negren, wasn't it? Charges all the way. Maeda might just be offside, but I think he's on, and the finish from Ida is pretty poor. I think it was all onside. It was very, very close. In fact, I think Ida's been let away with it big time. I think they might have given the offside there. I think they did. They did. They gave the offside. So I'm going to give Adam Ida the benefit of the doubt there on his miss, because he knew Maeda was off. Maeda just moved a little bit too quick, but still 0-0. Anyway, as I was saying, the Tommy Burns story. If you have the chance to go and see it, go and see it. Forrest, ball played into Adam Ida, keeps the ball in bounds. It's out for a Celtic corner. It's funny, emotional, sad, beautifully told. You'd think you're watching Tommy himself on stage. You forget that you're watching an actor. He was very, very good. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever watched, and it's well worth your evening going whenever it's next on. So please, if you get the chance, go and see it. If you're too young to remember anything about Tommy Burns. I was very unlucky that my first memories of Tommy Burns was sadly his tragic passing. I was 8 years old when he passed away. It was kind of the first thing that I remember hearing or seeing about Tommy Burns. But obviously doing what I do for a living, educating myself on the history of this club, I understand how important a figure he is. But the play is just so well paced, well written, and it's just beautiful. Honestly, I've never seen so many grown men and women crying in one place at the end of that play. So 100% get yourself to go and see it. I would recommend it. Be a fantastic gift for your mother or father for Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, whatever. You've got to go see it. Anyway, back over to the game. 6 minutes played on the clock. Celtic, the only team with a chance so far. It was offside. Celtic pressing the ball high up the park, and it is working effectively. Sporting haven't really got too far forward, apart from maybe the one time where they were playing the ball down the left-hand side 3 or 4 minutes into the game. I say that, and they're now trying to escape. Celtic still pressing via Dyson Maeda, and almost we win the ball back, but Sporting somehow keep a hold of it. Celtic still trying to press, not allowing Sporting to cross into Celtic's half. It's very good defensive work from Celtic, and it's similar to the way that we approached the beginning of the game against Estrella on Saturday, that just wasn't sustained throughout the entire game. But so far, looking very, very good on the defensive side of things for Celtic, pressing high up the park, not allowing Sporting to breathe, and keeping the control of the... Look at this again, brilliantly done from Rio Hatate, just forcing Sporting to think again and to start again. One back by Dyson Maeda on the left-hand side, fantastic interception, switches it to Ida, who brings it down beautifully. Dyson Maeda, Benji Nygren just trying to get onto it, but his touch lets him down. And Celtic right now are smothering Sporting with their interceptions and with their high press. Rio Hatate just can't control the ball, and it will get back to Sporting, but Celtic right back at it again. Now Adam Ida pressing on the centre half, and now the goalkeeper, and he has to get it away. They've had to panic and kick it up the park, and it goes out for a Celtic throw-in. Good afternoon to you, Philip. How's it going in Worcester, son? It's nice to see you. Let's go Celtic. Absolutely. Thank you for the donation. It's good to have you in again, Philip. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Ida is like having an automatic Ferrari. I have never seen such a comparison of a footballer to an automatic Ferrari. Here's James A. Forrest cutting through into the middle. Referee sort of in his way, but Rio Hatate will slip it out wide to Dyson Maeda as the space opens up for Celtic. We get into the box, then a ball across, but it's punched away by the goalkeeper. Maybe more of a shot than a cross from Dyson Maeda. It just wasn't well placed for Adam Ida. Instead, the goalkeeper gets to it first. Celtic go again, but Benji Nygren's pass just... a bit of miscommunication between him and James Forrest, and Sporting get it again. Celtic have been fantastic so far in this opening 10 minutes. It is very sort of... I'm reminiscing back to how we started the games against Manchester City and Chelsea in pre-season last year. We're going up against a side who are undisputedly stronger and better than Celtic, you could say, and we are showing no fear. We're showing a real positive nature in the game, and this is the sort of positive nature that Brendan Rodgers' side took into European games. So I'm impressed with what I've seen so far. Very reassuring. And almost makes me feel like that the morning on Saturday from everybody felt even more futile. Nygren is looking good, Gary, I would say. Loads of questions flying in, trying to get to the ball while Celtic play a very fast-paced brand of football. And here we go again, Dyson Maeda, who just showing the highlight. Yeah, his cross wasn't directed enough towards Adam Ida. It went to the goalkeeper more than it did Ida, and it was very unlucky. If you really want something answered, I will get to it. Just keep spamming it in, and I will eventually get there. Worcester is warm. It's warm here in Glasgow as well, Philip. Trust me, I am roasting up on in this loft. Nathan saying I could see us changing shape back to like I could see us changing shape back to like under Rodgers' first spell with a number 10. Yeah, look, listen, I think that Rodgers is probably quite versatile in his midfield thinking. I think that if he has the players to do something different, he'll certainly do it. Last season he wasn't blessed with a natural number 10, was he? I mean, Arne Engels isn't a natural number 10. Rio Hatate isn't a natural number 10. Whereas in his first spell here, he had Tom Rogic, he had Stuart Armstrong, who you could even argue weren't so much out-and-out number 10s, but they were certainly more number 10s than Arne Engels and Rio Hatate. So I think he's got that versatility to change things in the midfield shape, Nathan. I think you're right. I think he could do that. I think that's 100% an option for Brendan Rodgers this season, and so far Nygren has looked very good in this opening 10 minutes in the game. Let me see. How you doing, Ryan, from all the guys at Celtic car park staff? Oh, thank you, Philip. I hope you're doing well. Go on the car park staff. Keeping our car park safe and tidy. You deserve all the credit you get, boys. Brooklyn, hi, Ryan. No Victor, but we might have to deal with Isaac. Isaac? How are we dealing with Isaac? We drew Liverpool in the Champions League and I've not heard about it. I've just accepted he's probably going to end up there. Watched Ida closely at the final. His movement is non-existent. He's not good enough. Never will be, says Peter. Very, very optimistic. Very optimistic. I love it. No, me. I'm a big Ida fan. Glasgow, the city of romance. Got engaged to my fiancée in November there. Did you? What a fun fact, Philip. I love that. More romantic than Paris. I mean, I think some would argue, but you know what? I love Glasgow, so I'll give you it. You know, I love my hometown. Ball is back now with Kasper Schmeichel, who's of course making his first appearance of pre-season. Sporting have been the team closer to the goal mouth in the last couple of minutes or so, but Celtic working their way out of it well. Adamida turns with the ball, but defender is right there to take the ball from him. And now Sporting Lisbon just trying to calm themselves down a wee bit and enjoy a bit of possession, because Celtic have made life very, very difficult in that opening 10 minutes. He has got limitations, Paul. Of course he does. He's a big striker, and big strikers normally do have limitations. Technically, might not be the most proficient player, and I think we've made no secret of that, or he makes no secret of that as well. Genuinely feel more home at Glasgow than I do anywhere else. Love that, Joycey. Absolutely love that. Mark saying Ida has to prove he's good enough. We don't have to prove he's bad enough. He does that most games. It's a big season for Ida. I think it really does feel make or break for him this year with the jury out on him. Especially if Celtic opt not to spend big on a striker, which is looking likely. It's looking likely that the striker options are going to be Adamida, Shin Yamada, Callum Osmond and Johnny Kenny, if Johnny Kenny remains with the club. So it's a huge season for Adamida in that regard, because if Shin Yamada comes in and displaces him, which don't write off the possibility of that happening. I know that he's made it hard for people to buy into Ida being the good clearance there from Tony Ralston just at the last. Actually, Ralston didn't even touch it. It was a Celtic goal kick, but it looked as though Ralston maybe dealt with it anyway. His positioning was good enough to just throw off. I think that was Matthias Rees at the back post. Actually, it's quite poor from Ralston, actually. I'm going to rewrite what I was saying, because you really need to get ahead on that. He kind of shites out it at the last second. And it's very poor from Ralston. He's got very lucky that that's a fullback that has came in there and just completely misstruck the ball. He's missed the ball completely. I believe that's Matthias Rees. I'm not sure. But Ralston, that's very, very poor from him at the back post. He's lucky that's not a striker or a winger that is sitting in there. 20 goals off the bench, no striker needed. You know, there's different schools of thought, but it feels very make or break for him. It feels very, very make or break for Adamida this season. So we'll wait and see how he goes. He set himself that 30 goal target, and you know, some might say you would be daft to believe that he can hit 30 goals, but if he could hit 20 last year inconsistently, and he could hit 20 when he wasn't getting that many minutes, who says he can't get 30 when he's starting games? It's just time will tell, you know. Time can only tell. Phil, for Sporting, it's a free kick. I believe there was a push in the back there from either Hatate or Nigren, and it's switched away from it now, and Sporting will have the ball back. Aye. 0-0, 15 minutes into the game. We have over 800 live viewers as things stand. Thank you all so much, ladies and gents. Hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Celtic back in possession of the ball right now as it's sent out left to Kieran Tierney. First time I feel like we've really seen him in the game as he charges forward, slips it off to Dyson Maeda, who will then play it back to Callum McGregor, who's stooped into the left back role as Tierney bombs forward. And it's back to McGregor again as the game comes to a wee bit of a halt here. There's a Sporting player on the ground injured. The game has stopped. Celtic have paused with the ball. And I believe it's Ivan Fresneda of Sporting Lisbon on the right-hand side of the park who has taken a bit of a knock. Thank you, Hank, for the donation, brother. I appreciate that. Legend. Keep up the good work, mate. Hail, hail. Thank you. God bless you, sir, and thank you for the donation. It's always appreciated. Fresneda now back up to his feet, but he did go down there. It stopped the game. Celtic now will resume with the ball as Benji Nigren turns it on to James Forrest. Forrest now looking for something. Gives it back away to Dane Murray. Where's Anthony Ralston? Where is Ralston? as it all goes all the way back to Schmeichel. Some play just to kind of open up space for Celtic. Now going down the left-hand side, McGregor will have to knock it back to Scales. Evening, Donna. How you doing? Who wins it of Usyk and Dubois? I have no care in the world, to be quite honest. Feel good guy. Boxing is on its arse for me. Yeah. Bring back Muhammad Ali and such. My favourite boxer ever is Rocky Balboa, mate. Aaron said, I wonder if anyone playing right now will end up looking as weird in this shirt in the future as O'Reilly does wearing the 24-25 shirt. Don't put that in the air, Aaron. We're keeping everybody now, right? Or we're keeping the people we want to keep anyway. Everybody on the park right now is players that I would ideally like to keep. A couple of them I wouldn't bat an eyelid over if they were to go. I think you can assume who. But yeah, I'm hoping that the big ones we manage to keep. You know? Celtic have done what here. Benji Negren looks fantastic. Wins the ball on the right hand side, slips a ball in. It's a good defence from Morten Hjulmand, who came in to break up play and win the interception. Very well done down that right hand side from Benji Negren, by the way. Of course, naturally a naturally a right winger who of course moved into central midfield or attacking midfield for Nordsjælland in the past season and playing in midfield today, but over on that right hand side done really well to win the ball, and then he takes it beautifully into the box. Good wee pass, but as I said, Morten Hjulmand came in to sweep up before James Forrest could get a touch on it, and it remains 0-0 at 17 minutes played. Negren looks like he could be a right-handy player for us. I know it's early days, but he looks creative. Listen, I've said this a million times, and I'll say it again. If Negren had longer than 6 months on his deal, he would have been one of the big signings of this window price tag-wise. He would have been a 6, 7, 8 million euro player if it wasn't for the fact he only had 6 months left in his deal. That's the whole reason Celtic signed him for £1.5 million. So I know that we're talking, it's a disgrace how much we've spent so far in this window. We should be aiming to spend more. Shot from range from Sporting forces a big save out of Kasper Schmeichel. We should be aiming to spend more, 100%. But that was a bargain, and it was a bargain for a very good player, somebody who should have been a lot more than £1.5 million. So I get it, it's frustrating that Celtic haven't spent more money, but this is a guy that should have been upwards of £5 million. And we just happened to get him at the right time and get him before Nordsjælland could do anything about it. So that's credit on Celtic's part for figuring that one out. Another shot from range there a moment ago from Sporting that did go wide. Kasper Schmeichel called into action for the first time, who made a big save as he patted the ball out wide. And I think we have a corner kick to Sporting here. Yes, we do. As Francisco Trincao stands over it, sends a ball in for Sporting, and it's met by Morten Hjulmand, I think, but somehow it goes out for another throw, and I think Hjulmand got a touch onto that, but I'm not sure. Of course, Celtic conceded from poor defending of a corner kick on Saturday. That's how one of Estrella's goals came to fruition, through poor set-piece defence. And that's something that needs to be picked up on this season. As I said, I'm still very much in favour of Celtic hiring a set-piece coach, because I think it's something we really, really need. But now they're going forward again. Reese on the left-hand side for Sporting. They play the ball into the box, fires across along the goal front, and it goes out for a throw-in. Celtic get a little bit of breathing room after a spell of Sporting attacking play. Do I think Rodgers is leaving anytime soon? If he leaves, it's at least 10 months away. Put it that way. He's here for the next 10 months, and beyond that, we can only wait and see, Kaysen. But we'll soon find out. I don't think Rodgers has it in him to leave mid-season again after doing it the first time. After trying to win back and winning back most Celtic fans, to do it again would be foolish on his part. But do it in Kieran saying I think it'll be his last season. It's going to be something that dominates every video I do for the next 10 months. Dyson Maida trying to battle his way through here, by the way, but Big Jerry St Juste, centre half, manages to deal with it. St Juste, there's a player from back in the day, man. He used to get signed in all my FIFA career modes. Great interception from Liam Scales to stop the Sporting counter-attack. That's really tidy for Scalesy. Somebody who I don't give credit to an awful lot, it feels like. Very big interception from him just to stop the Sporting counter-attack, and then Celtic win a free kick, so we start the game over again. And it's another foul for Celtic, that Celtic win here. And Rio just showing a highlight here of a fantastic first touch from one of the Sporting players. Kieran Tierney gives it back to Scales. We've had Kennedy as a defensive coach, most likely, no wonder. We've been pish at set piece for 10 years. He's not been a defensive coach, he's been assistant manager. His job isn't defensive coach, his job's assistant manager. He does more than just coach defensively. And John Kennedy was a cracking defender. So I don't think he's solely to blame, to be quite honest. Scaldini redemption arc. A bit premature, maybe. McGregor sends the ball out wide to Dyson Maeda. Gives it to Benjamin Nygren, who tries to lift one over quite cleverly to Maeda, but just not enough in it. He wins it by a referee's got to give a foul. Tried to go back in it and win the ball again. Connor saying, I hope that we managed to sign Vinky Tickler. Yep. Great player, Vinky Tickler. Fantastic player. Do you think we'll challenge for top 6 this season? Nah, not this season, Matthew. Bottom 6 it is. Greg Taylor playing well, brilliantly, in fact. Best performance from Greg Taylor in a long time. Do you think we'll score a free kick this season? Honestly, I'm not counting my chickens. To be quite honest, I don't have any faith of scoring. I've never... I sit with Kieran Old, obviously, at the games. We sit together. We have done for the last 10 years. And for the last year, every time Celtic have won a free kick, either home or away, if we've been there, I have said before everyone, hitting the wall. And it hits the wall every time. Every fucking time. It's so easy to predict. So, no, we need a set-piece taker. We'll see. Any interest in doing any Celtic video games or Football Manager content? Well, funnily enough, Philip, the Football Manager content is scumbaggingly enough by myself behind a paywall. We're doing it at Celtic in England FM stream on the 118 Club. I explained about a year ago why it's behind a paywall. Essentially, it's the only way that it makes sense for me to do. So that's the only way you'll probably get seeing it on this channel for the foreseeable future, sadly. Wee Bampot, is he coming in, Mark? Brilliant player, I've heard. Wee Bampot. Fantastic. My sound's away, Chris Martin says. There's fucking Coldplay in the chat. Jota should be on free kicks. Well, it's a shame that he's out till January. Until then, we'll just need to try and get by. Bring back Juranovic for this free kick, says Aaron. Listen, very, very good at his free kicks. Celtic going out forward again. Can Dyson keep it play? Look at the pace on Maeda. I can't believe Maeda's now been here for coming up, 3 years? And I'm still stunned by his pace. He's been here long. Coming up 4 years, Maeda's been here, isn't it? Signed in January 22. And his pace still blows me away. It blows me away. And Dyson Maeda won the ball there, but Ivan Fresneda knocks it out for a Celtic corner kick. We probably know where this is going, don't we? We probably know where this is going. 25 minutes played almost. Celtic have a corner. Nygren stands over it. New set piece taker perhaps for Celtic. Let's get a good start, shall we? Let's see a good cross. Sends one in. It's a decent cross, but it's cleared away by Sporting. That was good. It was into the area. It was in the mix. And that's all I ask for sometimes. Is I just ask for it to be in the mix. Kieran Tierney launches one in for Ida. Oh, it's a save for the keeper. Didn't get the cleanest connection on it. It was a great cross in from Kieran Tierney. I see the face palms in the chat. I see the FFSs. I see the bruz. I see the annoyance of Ida's miss. Ball came whipping in for him. Should have had a cleaner connection on it. And he can't follow up on his goal from Saturday. Sadly enough, he can't follow up on his goal from Saturday. That really should have been an Adam Ida goal, you would say. But nonetheless, yes, another miss for Big Ida. This time he was onside, which certainly makes it worse. But it was a great cross from Tierney. Hope to see it. We've missed that, haven't we? We've missed Kieran Tierney's ability at crossing the ball and getting things. Oh, Scales is towing a truck here. Scales is towing a truck. Sporting look to make something happen. The cross whizzes over Kasper Schmeichel's head and out to the far left of Sporting's attack. Reese will swing another ball in for Sporting. It's a bit too high, and it's a very poor attempt of a clearance from Kieran Tierney as it goes out for a Sporting corner. Tierney really should have done better there, but back to the offensive side of things, we've missed that from Tierney. Look at that, great swinging in ball. Yep, it's a poor. That's both times Ida on his left foot has let him down. That's. Strongest foot or not, I don't know what is his strongest foot. I've never been good at remembering who's a left footer and who's a right footer and all that jazz. You've got to get a better connection as a striker to it. But it's a great ball. Poor clearance from Tierney led to a corner for Sporting, but amounts to nothing. Coming up for 26 minutes played, Pedro Gonçalves. What a handsome fellow, by the way. What a handsome guy. You know? Portuguese. I've got an automatic leg up on everybody. He is just a big clumsy guy, Jarvis. He's a big clumsy guy. And indeed he is. I couldn't word it better myself. We're getting a water break here, so a wee break in play. Philip saying he is a prime example why Celtic should bring in a promising players that no one has ever heard of for $1.5 million instead of overpaying for players that are just going to disappoint. Well, we'll see how Shin Yamada gets going. $1.5 million. Dyson doesn't walk anywhere, he does run. Water break, everybody, get your jars in the air. If you're having a lager, enjoy it. What I would do right now to be in Santa Pons again, or the Algarve, in the stands, with my lager in one hand and my Marlboro Gold. I don't condone smoking, but my lager in one hand and my Marlboro Gold in the other, watching the Celtic. Oh, what a joy! Hopefully we get a good European qualifier that I can go to in the back end of Kazakhstan. I don't know if the lager and Marlboros will hit as hard over there. Say that I've gave up smoking, but when you're on holiday, you can treat yourself. Jason saying Benji looks like he will be a good signing for us. Ada should be on the score sheet, but hee-haw for a donkey. The donkey the labels are flying tonight. They keep showing it again. They keep showing the Ada missed. It gets worse every time. But ho hum. Hey, listen, we're getting back. The team are getting back in the park now after their water break. How long do we need to put up with Ida? God, he's taking it stinking tonight. He really needs a goal tonight. Our fans are going to be torching the poor fella. A dragon soup for yourself, Hoop Dog. Not for me, the dragon soups, but you enjoy it. You enjoy that, sir. Watching Celtic with a pint and my ma in the backyard by the pool. Oh, to rub it in, will you, the chin kick? With the pool. Ooh, fancy. Well done. Heard Yamada always miskicks the ball and hits his shin. Laugh. Good lord. Everybody laugh. Everybody give Kenzie the laugh that they need. Ida should be hooked. Well, the way he's playing, it's probably coming at half time, I tell you that for nothing. People can't keep saying Ida just needs service. He's absolutely shite. Oh god, I hope he scores now. I feel bad for the big man. As an Ida defender to the end of the earth. Even the Celtic Twitter admin is tweeting embarrassed emojis for the miss. Oh great. Fantastic. Even they know. I'm pretending the first one never happened because it was offside, but the second one is that's poor. That's poor. Celtic fans saying, you know what makes me laugh? By the way, game is back underway now after the water break. You know what makes me laugh? I took pelters from so many last year for saying we should sign Ida. I guarantee you the majority of people in here slagging Ida were the ones slagging me last year. I know how it feels, Celtic fan, but sometimes we're probably going to have to stand tall and accept defeat at one point. I'm not giving it up until I need to give up. I will defend Ida till the ends of the earth. I will make it work. By the way, Sporting have the ball now as we get towards the half-hour mark in the game. So far, it's been a pretty entertaining game thus far. We have over 1,000 live viewers again at the moment, by the way. Thank you so much for that. I love doing these watch-alongs. Ball down the right-hand side now. Gonçalves sends a ball in. It's cleared. It's won back by Gonçalves, though, who slips a ball out right. They try and cross one over. And Ralston, man! How can you not defend a cross? Fucking hell. I'm asking that question as if I've not watched him struggle to defend crosses for the last however long. But my goodness, that's twice he's got away with it. Twice. Put your head on it with conviction. None of these glancing headers. For goodness sake, man. Put some fucking welly into it. And it's out for a Celtic throw. Fall on your sword, Ryan. I will fall on my sword. I will indeed. Ida would have been fine as a fourth striker, but we paid 9 million, so we need to pretend he's first or second. Spent big money on him. We need to get it paid back some way. He could repay us with a 30-goal season if that was possible. Would I prefer Edouard or Giacomakis? Loved both of them. I think technically Edouard is miles better as a player. I think Giacomakis has attributes that are better than Edouard. Where's Ralston? Why was Ralston not marking him in the right hand side? Shot on goal. Oh, it nearly trickled in. Schmeichel took his time to get down to it, and I think that he got a hand to it just in the nick of time there. But an opportunity that opened up for Sporting via very poor defending between Forrest and Ralston. One of them has to pick up their man, and the shot is saved from Kasper Schmeichel. It's actually quite a good save because he sees it late. He sees it late and he still gets down and gets a strong hand to it. But very poor coordination between Forrest and Ralston on that right hand side of defence there. Hopefully Nygren can score some free kicks for us, Brooklyn. That's all I care about. Any player not going for a header expected to be concussed should be immediately fined. Yes. Bring it back to the days where it was a men's sport. This game. That sounded far more sexist than it was intended to be. That was not... Football belongs to women as well. I just want to make that clear. Nygren! Oh, for goodness sake, he's Mr. Sitter. Fuck me. Why is every shot like so tame? Nygren, put some what is it? We gotta have to amputate the left foot of every player. For goodness sake. He is not the only one guilty now. That's a real big chance. Mate, that's a huge chance from Benji Nygren. And that's another one gone. But Celtic should be 2 up here. They really should be. I know, don't cancel me. You know what I meant. Don't cancel me, please. Big miss from Nygren, still 0-0 in the game. Was it blocked? I didn't watch the highlights. I was too busy complaining. It still looked like his shot was weak as piss, to be quite honest. But anyway, it's a fucking friendly. I'm not going to start greeting about it. Right, moment it cancelled. Aye, don't do that. You need more mods. I know, I do need more mods. I was meant to, audition for more. I need to. I'm going to go and make someone. I'm going to make a couple of people mods right now, which probably isn't a great idea because I'll miss the game. Hold on, chat's on pause for a moment just till I go and I'm going to make a couple of people mods, people that I know that are here quite regularly, so that they can time people out. If you get trusted with a mod spanner, then please use it responsibly, because I don't want people moaning that. I remember there was a time where people used to go, your mods make me no fucking, take me out the chat and all the rest of it. Like, give me peace, give me peace, please. Try to look for a couple of regulars. There we go. I've just gave out 2 mod statuses. So if anybody's spamming, if anybody's been a pain in the arse, there we go. 3 mods. Don't worry. It's not a popularity contest, gentlemen. Being a mod's probably not as good as you think. I've just gave out 3 very quickly so I can get back to actually talking in the chat. Saying women's heads are too delicate to head at a ball, are we, Ryan? Listen, cancel me all you like. It's tight. It's finished for me. It's over. It's finished. Ryan going mental right after a cancel comment like Trump tried, but I know I was actually in my head. I was like, perfect timing, Benji. Thank you, son, for the miss. Oh God Almighty. It's difficult having every passing thought that crosses your head going on the internet. It's a dangerous game you're playing sometimes. Game's we're at kind of a standstill here of some form. Like, the game is slowed right down. My stream's frozen. Oh, for goodness, we were going so well, and now my stream's frozen. I'm going to refresh. That's what I get for going to make mods. I can't believe it. I've went to make mods, and in doing so, I have lost my stream as I try and get it back up and running. Here we go. Is that me? Oh, it's having a heart attack. It's gone back in time. I'm 50 seconds behind now what it says on my screen. Oh, for goodness sake, I might just have to deal with it. Right, okay. I'm just going to have to deal with this just now. Suppose we're nearly at the end of the first half anyway, and it's not a huge deal. But it's been an entertaining game so far. Celtic should really be winning. Has anybody said stream froze? Mine's away again. It seems like a lot of people in the chat are having the same problem, which is always fun. It's always fun having a frozen stream. So we're just going to have to wait patiently and pretend that we that were watching the game. This is, I mean, how many? I can't believe that so many of us have had our, perfectly legal Celtic TVs freeze at the one time. Like I'm using my paid membership for my perfectly legal Celtic TV, and it's freezing on me. Like, I pay for this. I pay for this pleasure. Oh, and now it's gone completely. Now I'm getting a... Oh, right, wait, hold on, let me try. God's sake, I can't believe this. Why can no watch-along just ever go smoothly? I can hear my dad's down the stair watching it in his perfectly legal Celtic TV membership as well, and his is working fine because I can hear it. Thank you, Connor, for the donation. Who's better, Morelos or Ida? Don't even offend Adamida by asking that question. Thanks very much. But thank you for the donation, Connor. You're a legend. My authentic TV, Celtic TV. Yeah, exactly that. Anybody else still gone? I'm still gone. I'm away. This might be we might be gubbed for the rest of the first half. At this rate, I hope you're all enjoying my fantastic commentary of the game. But it's been fun. It's been a fun game so far. How are you doing, James? I'm well. Charged for Wagyu, served a pot noodle. What a fantastic way to put it. You play with feathers, you get your arse tickled. Simple as that. Everybody's streams have suddenly went down. Mackenzie's saying it's 1-0 to Sporting. I don't know if I'm being wound up or not. Can I get my stream back, please? Can I commentate over my game? That would be nice. I don't think I'm getting it back. Watch the match. Guys, if you're no training with intensity, you'll no be my team. We pay separate subscriptions. Nathan. Yes, of course. What's your favourite Magnum? Well, everybody's humped. I love a white Magnum. I also love the almond ones, to be honest. Adam, you've missed 2 Adamida sitters, a Benjamin Negrin sitter, and apparently now a goal for Sporting. Nathan saying it's 0-0. Right, okay, we're here. Right, so it's not 1-0 to anybody. God Almighty, can I please get my stream back, because it feels like nonsense. We are 38 minutes through, and we're just having to just kind of have a conversation while we wait for streams to return. It seems like a lot of people are having the same issue right now. The Mark saying his is still fine. Still 0-0. Good stuff, right? Still 0-0. You were joking, Mackenzie. You just watch yourself, son. Contributing 100% of the transfer budget with their separate Celtic TV subscriptions. Exactly. Listen, but we support the club. We support the club, and that's what matters most. That's what matters most. Still 0-0 in the game so far. Biggest chances have come Celtic's way as of the 39th minute, but Sporting haven't been without their chances, to tell you that. They haven't been without their chances. I'm seeing somebody saying that their Celtic TV is back and working, so let's just see if mine is the same. Let's see. Oh, hold on. This looks positive. Oh, we're back! We're back with a bang, and I'm actually ahead of what my timer says now. But it's froze again. It's froze again. Here we are with a frozen screen. Let me just try and refresh Celtic TV one more time, shall I? I love how we're all... Oh, is mine away again? I'm having no luck. I'm having absolutely no luck. This is the best watch-along you've ever watched in your life, ladies and gents. Play. Can we play? The shirts that I'm selling, Andrew, I can't remember them all off the top of my head, but they're on my Vinted. My Vinted is just the name as all my other social medias, Ryan Stephen F. There's the 2007-8 home and away shirts on there. There's a couple of more recent shirts, one from the COVID season, sadly. A couple of older ones as well. The 2006-7 green and black stripes. The Nakamura shirt, I call it. And a couple of others. So yeah, they're there. Yeah, Adam, I'll make you a mod, Adam. So you weren't here when I was. It doesn't matter. Mods are useless. They're not useless. That's terrible thing to say. I love all my mods, but there's no extreme honour by being a mod. In fact, it adds to the stress of the stream. Playing some lovely football out from the back. Apparently, Celtic. I wouldn't know. because I'm never getting back in, it seems. You'd better internet, mate. Hit me up. My internet's fine. Everything else is working fine. The stream won't play. Shelburne up 1-0 against Linfield. Good stuff. People saying theirs are frozen again as well. It's fucking boiling up in this loft. Still 5 minutes to go in this first half. Didn't mean to call you useless guys. It came out wrong. You know. Still 0-0. 5 minutes to go. Celtic have competed very, very well. Am I back? It's frozen the 41st minute. Oh, we're back. I think we're back. I think I'm back. I think I'm back watching now. Oh no, I'm not. It keeps freezing at the 41st minute. You know. I can't play it. I've got no TV up here. You know, this is you know, loft only. PC only up here. We'll just see out the first half and, you know, pretend that we're watching, and we'll talk about different things. Get your questions in, ladies and gents. Oh, it keeps repeating the same 5 seconds all over again. I think everybody's gone. I think everybody's having a nightmare with the stream right now, to be quite honest. This is better than the third shot. This should have been the third shot. Controversial opinion, perhaps, but I love this top, to be quite honest. It's one that grows on you with more time that you see it, you know. Maida had a chance, says Nico Boy. Still 0-0. We are approaching the end of the first half, luckily enough, which means hopefully through half time the stream situation is sorted and everybody can be watching and stuff again. You know, that would be handy. And Nathan saying that McGregor clipped a ball over the top. Maida, good strike, but a good save from the Sporting keeper. So Celtic are still creating chances even late in the half. We've had some big chances in this first half. I would say that Celtic deserve to be winning the game, in all honesty. But Sporting, as I've said a million times, not without their chances. I would love a freezing shower right now, Hoop Dog. Trust me. I would love it. Yeah, I like it. I like the shot. Ralston is getting horsed over on that side of the pitch. He's very much out of his depth. It seems like he's not having a great time over on that right hand side. His defending of crosses has been pretty poor, which is frustrating. But you know, it's a friendly once again. I think it brings up the point though. Like, we do really need to start considering what point does it become more important to sign another right back in the window, because I mean, Ralston has now held down that role for 3 or 4 years, but I think you can make the argument that he's been quite lucky to hold down that role for 3 or 4 years. And the thing is, domestically, he's more than good enough. He often chips in pretty solid performances domestically. But, you know, we're going up against a good side here, a strong side, a European powerhouse, you could say. Not powerhouse, but a top side in Europe. One of the best teams in Portugal, and he's really, really struggling. It's as simple as that. We are approaching half time, only about a minute or so to play. Celtic TV having a nightmare for a lot of people. See, I'm going to bring up a point that's just Helen's triggered a thought that I had earlier, and this isn't towards you, Helen. This is just in general, but it's hilarious. I love it when Celtic release a new piece of merchandise amongst times like this, because under every post it's more merch and fucking robbing us of more money and we can't make a signing. I wholeheartedly agree with you, right? If that is your state of mind, if you're going to go and shout at the club for putting out this merch and all the rest of it, blah blah blah, because we're not making signings, I get where you're coming from, but lads, it's a waste of air. It's a waste of what Adidas make all this merch, and it doesn't matter what's happening with Celtic, right? It doesn't matter if we're playing well, if we're playing bad. It doesn't matter if we're making signings, if we're no. Adidas put out the merch, not Celtic. Adidas are the ones that do it. And see if Celtic were hypothetically to turn around to Adidas and go, actually, you know what, we better not put that out because we're not playing that well at the minute and everybody will be raging. Do you know what Adidas would then do? You're getting sued. Have that. Because we need to adhere to the contracts that we sign. And we need to promote it because we agree in the contracts to promote it. There's no, and I get it, it's frustrating. 100%, absolutely, it's frustrating, right? But at the end of the day, Celtic have contracts to adhere to. Adidas are. Do you hear that firework? I just about shit my drawers. Adidas I just think that it's just a waste of oxygen, man, and it's a waste of time, and you're shaking your fist at nothing because the club can't do anything about it. They need to put that out there. They need to put this merchandise on sale. They need to market it. They need to get good numbers. They need to do stuff for all this. So we are approaching half time now. In the game, as we just trickle by to the last couple of minutes, as we wait for my stream's back right before half time. Stream is back. Oh god, I love how Jordan, hello mate, how you doing? He came in just to hear me talk, and he doesn't even realise we weren't watching it because the stream was gubbed. We are about to hit half time. Ivan Fresneda sends Kieran Tierney down the river though, cuts in for a shot. It's picked up on the left where nobody's. Where is Ralston or Forrest or anybody in that right hand side? The right hand side of the defence has been non-existent. It's been non-existent. I mean, Tierney was sold down the river there a wee bit. It was great from Ivan Fresneda, who's a great wee player. Well, it takes Tierney right out of it. Tierney's turn and deflects off. And where's Ralston going? Why is Ralston not out there? Woohoo, great. I think we are, half time in the game now. There we go. And we got our stream back working. Thank the Lord God Almighty. Just in the nick of time for the whistle going. Half time, ladies and gentlemen. It is Sporting 0, Celtic 0. Big chances for Celtic in the first half. Adam Ida had a big chance that he made a hash of. It was offside. He then also made a hash of another one, which was onside. It was a terrible, terrible miss. Benji Negrin had a big chance as well, which was a pretty tame effort, all things considered. Sporting have had chances as well in the game, could have scored goals. But all things considered, I would say a pretty good performance from Celtic in that first half, going up against one of the more entertaining sides in Europe over these past 2 or 3 years. They've been a powerhouse in Portugal. They still have a very, very good and talented side. We've pressed them up the park. We've created space for opportunities. We've counter-attacked well when we've had to. We've defended, sometimes defended well. And we sit here at half-time 0-0. And I would say that's pretty good going for Celtic in the first half of the game. So we'll chat for a couple of more minutes or so before I head away to get my replenishments. He is an FM hero, Jordan. Funny enough, plays for Celtic in our 118 club stream series. Funny enough. Let's see. When do you think we'll get a new captain? When McGregor calls it a day? Not for another 3 or 4 years. We don't need one anytime soon. Thank you to the final boss. What the hell? The Rock's here. The Rock's here, everybody. The final boss. Can't turn my nose at Eddie when I see Ida, to be honest. I mean, after that first half, it's a pretty fair evaluation to make of it. Thank you for the donation, mate. It is appreciated. Big Edith can't be the number one striker, says Ian. Derek saying Ida didn't try last season and now he knows he's number one. This is going to be a horrendous season. My goodness, God almighty. We're full of positivity and optimism for the big man, aren't we? He's getting absolutely flamed after that first half. It's just, I love, football is just such a fine margins game, isn't it? You've just got to think to yourself how different things would be if he just scored one of those. But he didn't at the end of the day. So, you know, he's only got himself to blame. How bad does Rodgers think Kenny is if he can't get a look in? I mean, to be fair, he has got to prioritise getting the fitness up of the constant goers, but I think it says a lot. Mark. Either should make a public apology. Well, we'll see if that comes anytime soon. Played well, says Alistair. Good to see you, Alistair. How you doing? We have played well. I think it's been a decent first half performance, apart from some poor finishing from Celtic and some weak defending over on the right hand side. We've been pretty good. Hello, Tony, late to the party, just in from work. Hello from Ottawa. 40 degrees here. My God, it's a warm one in Ottawa. Hope you're doing well, Tony boy. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Need a well-known Celtic fan who can get some good collabs going with Adidas for lifestyle gear with a trefoil logo. Must be someone out there with a big enough profile and links to both Adidas and Celtic. Get Luis Capaldi on the board. Get me on the board. I'll design some stuff for them. I think I could do a better job than what they're doing in the Adidas headquarters. Adi Dazzler would be trialled at The Hague for his efforts at Celtic this season. Just to make it clear. Alright, Tamo lad, how you doing? Hi, Rydog, was good to see you up in the Telecairn Road. It was good to see you too. I liked your reaction to the shirt, you know. I hope you enjoyed your walk, brother. Good to see you. Best player in the park has to be Maida. Yeah, stand out for me in the first half. I also liked Benji Negrin in the first half as well. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked like a active and nippy wee player in the first half, which is always handy. But big chances missed. Right, I'm going to go and replenish my liquids. So I will be back in around 5 or between 5 and 10 minutes. So chat amongst yourselves, keep the chat lively. We'll be back to do the second half in all of its glory. So I'll be with you very shortly. Hello, we're back. Nice to see you. We've started both halves, or both sides of the stream off with a classic tea. Hope I gave you off right there. Second half is obviously a few few moments away, so until then we'll have a wee bit of a chat at half time. Oh, brilliant. See, the thing is, I'd jump like fuck at that as well. But I hope you all enjoyed my rendition of the fantastic. Who's everybody's favourite Corey character of all time? Let me hear that. I'm stuck between. I've got the fan on. I hope it's not making too much of a racket. I'm easily a Norris Cole man, I think, but I love Roy Cropper as well. I think it's between the. Old Blanche. She was brilliant. Old Blanche. I liked Blanche. She was good. You know. If you've got any favourite Corey characters, let me know, and I'll rate them if I'm aware of them. None of the new shite. I mean, like the good characters. You know, I don't mean fucking. Don't tell me somebody for the last 2 years that I've never seen. I want to hear like a plot or something. You know. But aye. Anyway, can't hear the fan, pal. Blast away. Good stuff, because the first half was bloody boiling. And I can't be bothered sitting through that for the second half again. Any questions or such, make sure and get them piled in. Michael saying that Gail was his favourite character. I did enjoy a bit of Gail, sadly no longer with us in the show. David the Goat saying Nathan. Dude, I don't mind a bit of David. Norris is the man. You know, I loved Norris, mad Norris. Emmerdale guy, it's never been for me. See, this household was all, it still is. My mother's an Emmerdale Corey woman in River City till it's finished. That's always been the free in this house, but I was never keen on Emmerdale, you know. No woke Corey characters, exactly. I don't want. The only one that I'll accept for the new breed is Kenneth for Benidorm. I know he plays like the Undertaker, doesn't he? He's the only one I'll accept. Ken Barlow over Yamada. Same. It's a shame River City's gone out the way, innit? It's a shame. Sarah Platt, there's a blast for the past. I was a big fan of Kevin Webster and his family. They were good back in the day. What was he? Had the two daughters. One was a lesbian. I can't remember. Cracking wee family them. Very problematic, as every soap family is. EastEnders is crap. Now, I've never been an EastEnders guy. None of that southern woke shite. I'm a northern lad. Up the north. I think I just spat everywhere. I hope you didn't see that. Kieran McInroy playing Champions League football right now. One for the Mind Him folder. My God, I completely forgot that Kieran McInroy is actually playing. Celtic fans in question. What do you make of AZ signing Isaac Jensen for $4 million? Can't believe we weren't all over it. It's a disgrace. He went there? I didn't know that. Isaac Jensen. Did he go? Ah, he did. Was there not? Who was it? Was there not somebody he was meant to be? Oh no, wait, he's not. I'm thinking of somebody else. I think. I'm thinking of, who am I thinking of? Isaac Janssen is who I'm thinking of. Isaac Jensen, don't know who he is, I'm not going to lie. But fair play to them. Well done, AZ. Looks like a good signing. Thanks, I have you to comment because I can't hear it. Oh, well, Brooklyn, I'll try my absolute best. River Shitty. Ellen, you don't watch any soaps? My God. I used to love Corey. Oh, there's Battersby. Big Battersby. There's a character. He's dabbled in the wrestling business as of late, actually. I would take Roy Cropper over Edith, says Derek. So would I, to be fair. Lenny Murdoch in his early episodes was playing here. Lenny Murdoch, he was a right bandit. You know? He was a right bandit. Roy's wife was a hottie, says Nuck Choris. What, old Haley. Haley was a good character. Haley was sweet, man. Haley was just a nice character, you know? I thought it was very sad when she passed on the show. You know, it was very sad. Left Roy all alone. He's never been the same since, has he? Rosie Webster was married to a Celtic player. That's right, of course. Helen Flanagan was married to Scott Sinclair. Did she play Rosie Webster? Is that who she played? I thought Rosie Webster was played by somebody else. I can't remember. Which Corey character would you bring in to replace Travis Scott? I mean, it's Norris Cole. I'd take Norris Cole any up. Have you seen? I'm currently redesigning the flag for our section. Right, let's get it up. So I'll show you this. Right, this is something that I've never really. If you've got me on Instagram, you'll have seen it. Right, but I'm in the middle of redesigning it. So I'll show you the original. Right, I'll show you the original, and then I'll show you what I'm doing to redesign as we wait for the second half. This is some Ryan 118 lore. Right here, you'll all be like, Ryan, what the fuck are you banging on about? So I made so for when me, Kieran Auld and Mark go abroad, we all sit in section 412. I've made a flag for it. So this was the original flag, right? This was the original flag here, the 412 flag, absolute cracker. With Norris Cole and Florian Wirtz was on it, because there's a bit of a story why Wirtz was on it, right? And I'm not going to get into it. But I also really liked Wirtz as a player. And here's Chairman Mao, of course, of the former Chinese Communist Party. So this was the flag for up until this summer. And then when Wirtz moved to Liverpool, I had to scrap it up. I was like, nope, we can't be having that. We can't be having what's his face on it. So I've started to redesign it. To replace, of course, Florian Wirtz, because we just can't be having it anymore, I'm afraid. So we're currently in the redesign process right now with this, which is the current redesign that we're on. I've decided that Chairman Mao is getting replaced. I just don't know who to replace him with. I feel like Chairman Mao is a bit of a controversial character in some parts of the world, and I don't want to risk taking this flag somewhere. To have myself battered for being a kid-on communist. So we're looking for an ideal third man. We just don't know who yet though. But right now this is the 412 flag that we're currently rolling with, which will be going all over Europe with me. So I hope you enjoy that. Some Ryan 118 lower for you as we await for this second half to kick off, which is happening momentarily because the teams are making their way back to the field. We'll have a look at a couple of was that the Pope on the right side? No, that wasn't the Pope, that was Norris Cole. As Norris Cole, who actually does have a striking resemblance to Pope Francis. Put Josh Allen on it, absolutely no chance. There are changes being made going into this second half. I'm not entirely sure who the players are, the changes are for both sides as of yet, but the whistle has went and the second half is underway for Sporting against Celtic. Got so many questions coming and get Pete the Jakey on it. Sporting should have been able to swap shirts for the second half to show off their hoops, and I was actually thinking about that, Mark. I was like, that would be quite cool if we kit swapped, but a bit of a waste of resources, I would assume. Paul Potts, not a bad shout. Che Guevara, Roy Cropper. See, I was thinking Roy, but I don't want to overload on Corey characters, you know. Jessica Watson, what a shout, by the way. That's an absolute cracker of a shout. Samaras not being there's had end. The Samaras is also a shout. By the way, Celtic going forward with pace here. Jamesy Forrest on the right hand side. He's swung the ball in. And that's a penalty Celtic. That's got to be a penalty. He's pointed. I think that's a penalty Celtic. I think the referee's pointed to the spot. Johnny Kenny was taken out of it. Ida was hooked at half time, by the way. Johnny Kenny's on it. It's a penalty Celtic. What a start to the second half. Seconds in, not even a full minute in, and Johnny Kenny has came on the park and won a penalty for Celtic. Fantastic stuff. Brilliant. I'm getting so many suggestions. Zara Larsson, by the way. What a shout. What a shout. Zara Larsson, it could be him. Not Donald Trump, absolutely not. CM Punk, CM Punk also not a bad shout. Michelle Keegan, there's some brilliant shouts in here. I'm going to have to put them all in a Timbola and pick who's going to be the third man. Or woman, as of course, if Sarah Larsson was selected. Michelle Keegan. Some great shouts in here. Some absolutely great shouts. Punk with a Celtic top on makes a lot of sense. Well, here we go. Penalty to Celtic. Rio Hatate stands over it after Johnny Kenny won Celtic a penalty kick. What a way to start the second half this would be. Rio Hatate steps up and scores just about for Celtic. It is 1-0. Rio Hatate puts the hoops in the lead, and I think it's deserved. I think Celtic have been the better side and they deserve that goal to open the scoring in the game. The goalkeeper did get down to that. He did, and it was Big St Justa who gave away the penalty kick. He's not happy about it, but Hatate stepped up, a little kind of dribble at it, bang, keeper. Hatate's lucky. Hatate's really, really lucky. That somehow went in. I don't know who's I don't know if the goalkeeper's unlucky or it's poor, if it's weak hands, but Hatate is unlucky. Hatate is lucky. 47 minutes on the clock. Celtic 1, Sporting Club de Portugal 0, and we have the lead to start off the second half of the game. And as I said, I think that Celtic deserve it. Look at that. The fans look like they're chuffed and they're having a cracking day out. Adam, stick you on it for the donations over the years. That is also a possibility as well. It's the least that you deserve. Was that Bob Villan that filled him there? Very easy to confuse with big Jerry St. Juste. Very easy to do, I suppose. Kenny done more in 15 seconds than Adamida did in 45. Well, won the penalty. You've got to be there to win it, and that's exactly where he was. Hugh Keevans on the flag wouldn't be a bad man to have on the flag. Big Hugh Keevans, big shuggy. Up, Forrest is down. Actually, somebody in our group chat summarised James Forrest's first half performance with James Forrest playing for his pension. And he did look kind of sluggish in the first half, not going to lie. He's down right now. He's been pulled back to his feet by one of the Sporting players, but the Celtic physios are making their way onto the park. I don't know if James Forrest will actually need to go off here. They're replaying again. It was Forrest that sent the cross in that won the penalty, to be fair. I mean, it's good movement from Kenny, just steps in front. Yeah, look, listen, it's one of those ones where, Jerry St. Juste is just not alert of Kenny. It is a penalty. You've got to have an eye out. You can say that you didn't know he was coming in, and you can try and wave it off as much as you like. But hey, listen, if you're not in the right place, if you're not looking for the players coming in, then it's your own fault. It's your own fault. Is Nygren still on? Yes, he is, Brooklyn. He is still on. He is still there. As the game gets underway again, James Forrest does remain on the park. I can confirm that James Forrest ain't off injured yet. In fact, I think that the only change Celtic made at half-time might have been Adam Ida off for Johnny Kenny. The wish of him being hooked at half-time happened, and Ida will not be happy about that. If there's any positive to take for it, for as much as we've been negative about Ida tonight, and I know this is me just being the hopeless defendant of Adam Ida that eventually will need to stop. If there's any positive to take from it, that needs to put a rocket up his arse. Getting hooked in a friendly at half-time for a shocker of a first half, he needs to be better than that. He needs to be. And hopefully it puts a rocket up his arse to improve. But 5 minutes into the second half, and Celtic applying that early pressure like they did in the first. James Forrest not able to join in it as he's still shaking off a bit of a knock. Liam Scales stands up his his attacking player. Poor pass that slows down the attack, but Morton Hillman will take the ball into Celtic's half. Ivan Fresneda now has it the right hand side, gives it to Trincao, and Sporting forced to go all the way back. A good defensive shape from Celtic as Sporting try to advance their way up the pitch. Has Nygren been good, asks Anna. Yep, I would say he has been. I think he's been very good. Long ball over the top. It goes, there we go. Schmeichel went off as well for Vinny Shinsalo. So 2 changes were made at half-time. I spoke to my father, spoke to the old man at half-time. He was very impressed with Dane Murray in the first half. That was his standout. I feel like we didn't even speak about Murray that much in the first half, but Stevie was quietly impressed. He also wasn't happy of my Tony Ralston slander because he's a big Tony Ralston fan. But, Nathan, have you seen that clip of you playing FIFA celebrating like 2018? Everybody's using it under Celtic posts. No, are they? I've not seen that. Get that forwarded to me. I need to see what clip this is. Oh man, the FIFA career modes. Yeah, I see that they're trying to fix FIFA this year according to their trailers. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a return on the cards for the career mode. I doubt I'll buy it. The guy does interviews on Celtic TV is pish. What a shame, Marcus. Show some respect. I'm actually not familiar, to be fair. I never get watching them because I go away to get water at half time. But I assume he's probably quite good at his job. How many times does Adam Ida need to be hooked for underperforming to have a rocket up his arse? It's a good question. Celtic's Paradise. It is a good question. Here's Tony Ralston is playing very inverted, and I know that might be the instructions from the manager, but surely somebody's got to see that in the first half it nearly cost us 2 or 3 times. Just go and sit out wide. Go and sit in your position, Tony. You're no fucking João Cancelo or Josko Gvardiol. You're Tony Ralston. Stick out right. For goodness sake. Here we go, by the way, down the right hand side. It was a lovely pass from Ralston. He must have heard me. And Benji Nygren advancing the ball forward. I like Nygren a lot. I like him a lot. Having to go backwards there though, forcing a pass to Tony Ralston. Let's see. listening to two Portuguese commentaries, better listen to Jeremy Cully. Portuguese language is a very funky language, you know, because I remember, like, for the longest time, look at me Dyson, for the longest time I always assumed that Portuguese and Spanish would just be like the same. It's not. Like, obviously there's similarities in the Latin nature of it all and stuff like that, but like, it's not. And then Nigren missing an open goal, it wasn't like a, you know, I just pretend I didn't say that. He struck at a ball where the game was stopped, but he missed it. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. As we cross the 53-minute mark. Let's see. Someone at what was saying about there might be a Tony Ralston testimonial you heard in about. Well, he's not far off it. You've got to play 10 years to get a testimonial, and Ralston's not far off it. Like, if he's here for another 2 seasons, we're going to be talking about a Tony Ralston testimonial. Yeah, that's the whole point. He will get one if he's still here. Will he make it there? We'll wait and see. 5 minutes of the second half played, and Kenny already surpassed Ida, says Mark. Seems to be the narrative at the minute. Genuinely don't think I've seen Nigren lose the ball once. What a player we have here, says Sales Paradise. I love that positivity. And yeah, he's been very good with the ball, very, very safe with it, but still ambitious at the same time. It's hard to describe. It's not like he's doing things that are negative and escaping difficult situations. He's just doing well. Ryan, give the board a good bit up the arse. I wish I could. I wish they would listen to me, to be quite honest. Do you think Yamada is the new Kyogo? We need to be careful not to just drop comparisons of players because of their nationality. Of course I want him to be. I would love him to be as successful as Kyogo, but he's his own player. Shin Yamada is the first Shin Yamada. I like thinking of it like that. And ultimately we need to replace players, but we need to replace them with better players. And never rule out the possibility of him being a better player. Of course, on paper, doesn't look as though he is. Oh, it's a foul, surely. Foul for Celtic. But aye. 118 out. Why more? Why? Sporting haven't been bad at all. This is a good performance from Celtic against it. I mean, Sporting put out a good team this afternoon. And after that calamity that people made out on Saturday, I hope this is winning people winning people over a lot more to today's performance, because I think we've been really, really good. To be quite honest. How's the game been? Was it called to Greenock for work last second? Been good. It's been an entertaining game, back and forth, but I'd say Celtic are well deserving of the lead. They could have had more. Ida's dropped a stinker and was hooked at half time for it, and a fucking friendly of all things. But we have played really, really well. I'm very happy with what I've seen of Celtic in the opening hour of this game. So there's my brief summary if you're catching up and coming in late to the stream like Mortal is. Hatate finds space anywhere. He does. Celtic just looking to try and set up the pace of the game again for their own good. Send the ball out. Kieran Tierney playing important to notice. Tierney has now played 55 minutes in the game. Very good progress for him. Callum McGregor sends the ball forward to Nigren, who just takes it round Morten Hillman quite nicely. I mean, listen, Morten Hillman, one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe at this moment in time, and Nigren has looked very, very comfortable against him today. I know it's as I said, I don't get carried away with anything in pre-season friendlies, but if you want a good start for somebody, well, this is a good start for me, because Hillman's a great player, and Nigren has looked comfortable against him this afternoon. Can I start a poll? It's not letting me start a poll. Is this a poll here? Nope, that's not a poll. I don't think I can do it through my software, and I can't be able to open up YouTube, sadly. Oh no, I've messed up my chat. Come back, live chat. Sorry, lads. Celtic have a throw in. Tierney tries to go long to Johnny Kenny, but it's cleared. It ends up back with Kieran Tierney for another throw in. Gives it to McGregor. Back to Tierney. Celtic looking to get forward once more. They haven't been in the opposition box for a while, but it might come now. Hatate gives it to Ralston. Ralston takes the touch to set it out to Forrest. His touch lets him down, but somehow still makes it a good opportunity for Hatate, whose pass is poor, and Sporting win it back. Hillman tries to clean up out wide to Trincao as Celtic press once more against Sporting Lisbon. Hatate chasing down on the Sporting keeper. Of course, only a penalty right now separates the two sides. Good defence there from Big Dane Murray. Gameplay's on. Celtic were expecting a foul. Play to the whistle, boys. Sporting going forward. Down our right-hand side. Callum McGregor trying to chase. It's not worked out well. And it's a shot from Sporting that goes wide. Aye. Play the whistle, boys. And you can see a couple of the inexperienced players there, and in particular Dane Murray, who kind of slowed down, waiting for the referee to blow his whistle. Of course, can't get away with that at the top level. Didn't realise Tierney was on. Yep, he is on. He is on indeed. Has either one of Ralston or Tierney been playing the inverted role? Out of the two of them, Ralston looks far more inverted. Tierney, it's not Tierney's gig, is it? Tierney's never been an inverted fullback. And I don't think he should be. I'm not a huge fan of inverted fullbacks. I'm not going to lie. You know, I'm not a huge fan of it. KT has had a quiet game. I'd rather him had a quiet game than a game where he was doing too much and exerting himself and whatever. He's been fine, and a quiet game's better than a bad game. You know, but he's been quiet. Substitutions being made for Sporting here. Morton Hillman went off. I don't know who else did, if anyone else did, but they have made a change in the game as we approach the hour mark. Hillman off. As I said, very impressed with how Benjamin Nygren has faced up to him today. One of the best defensive midfielders in the continent, and he's looked good. He's looked good. John Lennon in. Kaysen asking, who do you think has the most potential of being a better player altogether? And the new signings, it's got to be Nygren for me so far. I mean, I'm taking Tierney out of the conversation here because he's already a complete player. But if you're talking potential, I think that it's Nygren. I don't mind an inverted fullback model. I mean, it depends on the team and who you're watching and such, but I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I like my fullbacks bombing up and down the line, and I like them being there to overlap over the wingers. And you can do both of those things at the same time. You can invert when the game calls for it. But I'm just more of a traditionalist when it comes to my back four, to be quite honest. I like them having the ability to play out from the back 100%. Brilliant tackle from Tony Ralston, by the way. Fantastic tackle from him. Celtic win the ball back as we hit the hour mark. Get Big Rise on the Celtic TV commentary team. Listen, I would do it in a heartbeat, to be quite honest. Did Isaac Yankem sign? Not yet. Still in the dental surgery from what I know. Dane Murray looking very good. Carrying the ball out from the back. Benji Nygren pasting it down the right hand side. Sees James Forrest. Slows it down a little bit. Looking for the pass, and he's been fouled. Foul for Celtic. Very well done there from Dane Murray. Walking the ball. Not even walking. Running the ball out from the back. Playing it on to Benji Nygren, who brought the ball forward well on the right hand side. Forrest was fouled. It's a throw in. Sorry, not a throw in. A free kick for Celtic. Also, if you want to join the Discord, links are flying in the chat via Mortal. You can come and have a chat, have a laugh with other members of the 118 community. It's a safe space, a good space to have a wee bit of discussion with like-minded people. And it's very well moderated. Free kick for Celtic now. Nygren stands over it, hits it deep. It lands with Scales, who chests it down. It's a good touch from Scales, a good cross from Scales. And by the way, that was a good opportunity. Dyson Maeda just looking a little bit gingerly actually after that, but just not tall enough to get the head on it and to get the power behind it what he needed. Fantastic ball sent deep from Nygren, very well controlled and brought down from Scales, who then sent over another good cross. Dyson Maeda just not able to get up to it, and it still lies at 1-0. If you're looking for my Vinted, it's just Ryan Stephen F, the same as all my other socials. Ryan Stephen with a V and then an F. I am selling some medium-sized Celtic shirts at the minute if anybody is wanting them, because I am trying to fix my collection up to shirt sizes that I can actually wear, because I'll never be a medium ever again. Shot from range now from Sporting, but it's caught quite comfortably by Vinny Sinsalo. Might you be doing your shirt review video soon? Are you meaning the away shirt rankings? I'm still waiting for Dundee United. It'll be next week at some point. I'm aiming for next Friday, because next Friday I'm away down to Manchester to see Drake. So I won't be making any videos, so I might pre-record the away kit rankings, and put that out next Friday. Because I'm away to see Drizzy. My man. Nygren has a bit of a lubo about him for me. Different body profile, but similar body movement, says me. Not actually me, but me in the chat. Very, very interesting to hear that. Goal for Celtic was scored by Real Hatate via penalty. For anybody who is joining in late, we have over 1,000 live viewers. Yeah, I really like Nygren, man. I'm all up for changing the entire midfield formula this season to supplement him as an attacking midfielder. I have missed a natural number 10 in the Celtic midfield in these last 3 or 4 years. Of course, Ange sort of transformed it, didn't he? And there was nothing wrong with that. I've liked it, but I love a natural number 10. It's arguably my favourite position on a football field, to be quite honest. The number 10 is always saucy, always flary, always creative. It's just one of the best positions, and I'm all up for changing how the midfield three works to supplement him playing as a sort of number 10. However, in this game, he's done a bit of both. He's been that attacking, creative outlet in the midfield, but he's played deeper at points as well. He's done both. So maybe we're just looking at a very versatile midfielder here. But if you watch right now off the ball where Nygren is sitting, it's almost as if he's sitting in that kind of middle part of the three behind a striker. Right winger, attacking midfielder, left winger, big chance now, terrible shot from Pedro Gonçalves as the ball goes wide and it's out for a Celtic goal kick. Lots of points and questions flying through. We'll try and get through some of them. Ryan, maybe if you had a shit more often you would lose weight. Have you ever took a shit at Celtic Park? If so, how was it? Ryan, have you shit in many stadiums? That is perhaps the worst question I've ever been asked on a live stream. However, I have never done one in Celtic Park, nor any football stadium, because it's effectively a no-go zone in the men's toilets, as you all well know, if you're a man. What a disgusting question. I'm sorry for anybody in this chat who did not need to hear any of that. I apologise. How do you think Jota's doing after his injury? I don't know. Sounds good though, he's enjoying life. Another water break as we... Oh, no, it's not... Oh, no, wait, hold on. It's not a water break. It's just substitutions getting ready. Kieran Tierney. I think that we're going to see a kind of mass substitution of players in a moment here. And what I will say is if we do get a mass substitution of players, for the 65 minutes that we've had one of the stronger versions of our side in pre-season out so far, I have been very impressed with what I've seen. And I hope that this is the sort of calming performance that a lot of Celtic fans really bloody need. And I mind you, this was a team that finished 17 points clear of Rangers last season, that won a double, that was a penalty shootout away from winning a treble, that was a kick of a ball away from forcing extra time against Bayern Munich in the knockout stages of the Champions League. It's a good Celtic team that is in need of vast improvement. But the overreaction from... What I'm trying to say is, the overreaction from some fans on Saturday was pathetic. Was utterly pathetic. So the 65 minutes that we have played against one of the top sides in the continent over the last 2 or 3 years has been very reassuring for some, I hope. But I haven't doubted this team very much, to be quite honest. Nygren's looked great, Cole. Could say it was a shit. You could say it was a shit question. It was. It was. Ryan, there's 1,000 grapes. For everyone you eat, you get 100 grand, but one of them is poisonous. How many eaten? I've done this in the Thunder. We've spoke about this in the Thunder Club before, and I've always said, like, I'm not going to get greedy with it. I'm not risking my life for the sake of greed. Like, I'll have 4. I'm fine with 400 grand, man. That's brilliant. Thank you. 400 grand? Hey, get me a couple of houses over the... Well, maybe I need a wee bit more than 400 grand for a couple of houses over the continent, but get me a wee house in Spain. Maybe one in the States. Get somewhere set up close to Philly so I can go and watch the Eagles. You know, 400 or 500 grand will do me fine with that question. Chance now for Sporting. Moving forward, ball sent in. Tierney clears. I think Celtic got a little bit lucky there that nobody was sooner well or better placed to receive that cross, but Tierney was the one that swept up the danger and sent it out for a Sporting throw-in as they retain their possession. Oh, and it's a good chance again for Sporting, cut out well by Liam Scales, who's played well in this second half, I think. I would say big Scalesy. Pedro Gonçalves trying to make his way into the box, but well defended by Callum McGregor. Oh, it's a foul. Foul on Benji Nygren. It's the only way they can stop him in this game. Am I pregnant? Yes. Of course I am. Used to have a shite in an empty can or bottle in the old jungle. So I've heard. I'm glad I never experienced the old jungle from the stories I've heard for the old man. I tell you that for nothing. I'm not rough enough. Well, you said you haven't lost faith, so you just keep that energy if we get pumped. I don't think we're going to get pumped. It's 1-0 with 23 minutes to go. Here come the mass changes, though. Here come the mass changes for Celtic. We are making basically an entire team change here. Trusty's coming on. Engels is coming on. Inamura's coming on. Yang is coming on. Telio is coming on. I think McCowan might be coming on. McPherson, or no, so that's Donovan who's coming on. Donovan, who had quite a rough time of it on Saturday afternoon, gave away the penalty and then was at fault for the defensive letdown in the corner kick. But I'm not going to let that take away from what I thought was a pretty fine performance from him. But a lot of changes for Celtic. A lot of changes. Austin Trusty now partnered at centre half. Is McPherson on with him? I'm not entirely sure. I think McPherson might be on with him now. Austin Trusty, who didn't start the game, of course. Liam Scales opted for instead. Celtic now have their slightly weaker side out on the park. I say slightly, significantly weaker side out in the park. Arnett Engels wins the ball, tries to play it off to Yang, just not enough conviction in the pass as Sporting try to calm things down. Yang getting torn about it, but fouls the Sporting player. Get your points in. We have, how many? We have about 20 odd minutes left in the game, which means I'll be live for around 25 more minutes or so. Keep your questions flying. Look, listen. As the main group of players goes off, what I will say is in that 65 minutes with the most strong side that we could have probably fielded this afternoon, I was very impressed with what I seen. I think it was a very good, reassuring performance for some, I would say. But for me, it was very good, very happy against a strong Sporting side this afternoon. And now we see out these last 20 odd minutes with a weaker team. And whatever happens from here on out really isn't of any great significance. And I wouldn't be overly concerned with it. Austin Trusty winning the ball, done well there. Sends it back to Vinny Sinsalo. Let's get through a few of these points, shall we? How we playing? Playing well, as I've just said, I suppose. I don't know why I've answered that to you now, Kieran, when I've just given you the full rundown of my thoughts. I think the BBC should broadcast either these friendly games or some Scottish Premiership games. They can't do neither. It's just not how it works, sadly. But it would be a wonderful world, James. Successful exercise, I agree, Mark. Very happy with what I've seen in that main 65 minutes of the game there. I don't talk about it on this channel because it wouldn't be in place for me to do it on this channel. However, I think my political points have been made very clear on my social medias and on this channel sometimes in the past. It hasn't been neglected. I've spoke about the situation constantly, and I will reiterate it a million times over. Free Palestine. Holm's not having a great time of it over in Los Angeles, to be quite honest. I trust in Trusty. Come on. Yes, my Philadelphia boy. Celtic moving forward. It's Luke McCowan. Well, this just came out of nowhere. Celtic is 2-0 to the hoops. Oh, there we go. I looked back and I just seen Celtic on a fantastic attack. And even with the weaker side on it, Sporting have a weaker side in the park as well now, but not to take away from a fantastic attack and goal there. Luke McCowan, who's already had a goal, of course, in this pre-season, finds his second of pre-season and finds Celtic's second of the evening. Fantastic counter. Look at the smile on McCowan's face. He's delighted with that. Brendan Rodgers analysing everything on that laptop in the dugouts. But there we go. Celtic now 2-0 up. 2 goals to the good. And an attack spearheaded by Johnny Kenny, by the way. Was brilliant, Johnny Kenny. Slipped off, and McCowan was even better. McCowan just in control. Kenny looked brilliant on the ball, but McCowan here just takes it onto his left foot so beautifully and so comfortably. You'd think that he was like a top level Barcelona-esque player, just with the composure in his dribbling, and he slips one into the bottom right hand corner of the net past the goalkeeper. He takes 2 of the defenders on brilliantly. That is a stunning goal from Celtic, by the way. An absolutely stunning goal from Celtic. Very impressed with that. And that's came through Johnny Kenny and Luke McCowan, 2 players who, don't get spoke about as much as the other guys. And it's a brilliant goal. It's a fantastic goal. Celtic 2-0 up against Sporting. Are you not entertained? Where's everybody that was moaning on Saturday when we lost in a B team, when the B team lost in a fucking behind closed doors friendly? Where is everybody now? God's sake, give me a sore head on Saturday. Water break time now. Let's get our points into now. What a goal. Luke McCowan. Luke McCowan, chocolate bar. Oh. Also, where is this clip of me playing FIFA? Has anybody sent me it yet? That people are apparently using. Because I've not seen it. And I want to see it. Aye. Fantastic. Fantastic. 2-0 up. 2 goals to the good. Kenny Arida. Well, listen, after that. Where's Big Paulo Bernardo Ryan? He's still on break. For whatever reason, I don't know. We'll have to wait till the manager clarifies that. Sale Osmond. Oh, God. Boy's not even played yet. So that's a goal. Winning at 2 assists, technically, for Ida, if you're going off FPL's system. Because he was the one that won the penalty. And got the assist there. He was very quick. Listen, if that's what Kenny can offer us, I want to see more of him, man. I want to see more of him. 100%. Maybe he's the Irish striker at the club that we need to be giving more minutes to. You know? About just over 15 minutes left to play in the game now. Celtic in a really good position, 2-0 up. Very good second goal from Luke McCowan. Kieran saying that he could be a regular this season. Yeah, listen, we've seen him a good amount last year, and I think, you know, he maybe deserves more minutes than what he got. So we'll see how it goes for him. But he's looked sharp this pre-season. He's obviously been working to improve. I think there was points last season where people were questioning: is he a Celtic calibre player? Is he good enough to be playing for Celtic? I've been in full support of him since coming through the door. And I've wanted him to succeed, and I've been happy with him since he's signed. So, aye, greatest sporting achievement in Lisbon since 1967. Sadly, the game isn't even in Lisbon tonight, Philip. It's in the Algarve. So, I wish that we could say so. I would love to draw one of the Lisbon-based clubs in Europe this year. Sporting moving forward now. They get their way into the final third, win a corner kick. I think Engels could have a big season too. I put my neck on the line a couple of months ago, and I said that my controversial call for this year is that Engels will be Celtic's Player of the Year. However, as things stand, there's no guarantee he'll be starting games going into the new season, because this Nigren, Hatate and McGregor midfield will be one that will be hard to get into. So Engels needs to take his chances in the competitive games when he's given them if he wants to dislodge any of those three. And suddenly my Player of the Year controversial shout thing is looking like it might be on its arse if he can't get into that midfield three. But aye. Big Soap saying, I'm Irish and a League of Ireland fan as well as Celtic fan. Johnny Kenny showed very high potential at his time at Rovers, and I believe he will go to do well even if it's on loan somewhere. Yeah, I mean, he's got the attributes to make him a good player. It's just whether or not obviously he's ready to bring that to the Scottish Premiership stage, and if he needs maybe a little bit more time to develop. But he's looked comfortable in this second half since coming on at half time. The second goal was scored by Luke McCowan, and it was a fantastic goal. Very good goal, spearheaded by Johnny Kenny on the attack, and then Luke McCowan looked like, I don't know, he looked like a Desir Dewey running through the defenders. So thank you, Mackenzie, by the way, I appreciate that. He was top scorer in Europa Conference. Remember when we bought him back and ignored him? Yeah, he played very well in the Conference League for Sporting, for Shamrock Rovers last year. Inamura getting torn in about it down that left-hand side, but it's ultimately a free kick to Sporting Lisbon. Just under 15 minutes left to play. You're asking a lot of political questions. Good finish, like the other channel is brutal on YouTube. Table built around him and Calmac finishes. Competition for places crucial. Have a good season. Just kind of scanning through some stuff to get to catch up before I turn my attentions back to the game. Sporting trying to move forward now. It's very well cut out by, I think it was McPherson. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, it was McPherson, I think. Hold on, back in one moment. Sorry about that, lads. The old man was bringing me a cup of tea. I have got my trusty cup of tea and my famous SpongeBob mug, which no longer even looks like a SpongeBob mug because it's about fucking 20 years old probably. The game is kind of slowing down its pace a little bit now, so keep the conversation flowing. Get any points in, and then we'll talk about it. Negren has been the standout for. I mean, I know he's off the park now, but I'll give my man of the match towards the end when we get to the kind of 88th minute or so. But you know, Negren is up there. Very, very impressive for me this afternoon. Celtic are just getting stuck in about it right now. How's that a foul? How's that a foul? Donovan gives away a foul on the right hand side, but I think it's very, very unlucky because he got torn in and he won the ball. But nonetheless, thank you to Celtic fan 1967. Hail, hail, brother. I appreciate that. Or sister. It could be either of the two, I suppose. Do that Coronation Street box again and I'll unsubscribe. Never. Sorry, I might say always. Always. I'll do it every stream now. The Sporting side in the first half was a very strong one, Big Soaps. And for that 65 minutes we were playing against their strong side. It's still a strong side. They've still got Pedro Gonçalves out there. I think they've still got Trincao out there. They haven't made vast changes to the team. Hillman went off and a couple of others. But it's still a decent Sporting side in the park right now that we're beating. The team that started the game was close to full strength. A couple of names I wasn't too familiar with. But they had Trincao, they had Gonçalves, they had Hillman, they had Fresneda, they had Reece. They had a very strong team out there. And then Celtic have, dare I say it, been the far better team. The Sporting managers even, look at him, he looks miserable. He knows that we've done them. I don't know how many, let me see, do you know what, a question I actually want to answer here. How many pre-season games have Sporting played? Because I don't know if they're just starting their pre-season schedule or not. So this is only their third. But this is only their second, really, with the return of most first team players. So we're doing really well, man. Really, really well. Actually, no, sorry, I take it back. This is their first. According to FOTMob, this is their first. My bad. Maybe that's why they're a little bit out of sorts. But you can only beat what's in front of you, and we've done pretty well. You know, for everybody asking who scored the goals, the first was Rio Hatate via penalty kick in the first half. Second was by Luke McCowan not too long ago in the game. Referee is being a little bit annoying in this game. I was actually enjoying the refereeing performance on Saturday, but this referee hasn't been quite as praiseworthy, I would say. Here's Sporting go forward now, sending the ball back to Trincao on the right hand side. Celtic once again doing their best to defend it. Trincao dancing through Yang. And there we go. The ball is won eventually by Luke McCowan in the box. But Trincao got through Yang far too easily. Of course, not a natural defender, however. Celtic fan, thank you for the donation again. $4.99. If you had to pick a former player to come back, who would it be? I'm assuming you mean players that are currently still playing. It would... Oh... Tierney's back now. Can't even answer Tierney. I mean, Van Dijk is like an obvious answer, isn't it? You know, probably Van Dijk. Take him back for a couple of years. If it was more realistic, Christopher Ayer. I want to get into the boardroom. I want to sit down in front of fucking Lawwell and whoever and go, put 15 million down on the table. And you're Willie. Get fucking Ayer back for Brentford. What a tackle from the Sporting player there, and well defended by Ben McPherson. Aye, Christopher Ayer, if it was to be realistic about it. But Van Dijk would be the obvious answer. But listen, we've heard that the Norway national team managers came out and said that he needs to get a move away from Brentford, and I think he's valued at roughly like 15 million. He's 27. Put the money down and sign him, for goodness sake. Him and Vickers at centre half. Give it to me. Give it to me, please. 9 minutes, or sorry, just about 8.5 minutes left to play in the game. Celtic being pressed tightly into their own corner. Go on, hey, that's a referee! He's given the foul. McCowan was nearly off there again. Yellow card given to... Is that St Justa again? I'm not entirely sure. He was kind of off camera when the yellow card was given out. Ida injured? Is Ida injured? Something... Is he? Oh, sorry, I'm just going out to Twitter. I don't see anything being said about either being injured. Don't spread false rumours. as the commentator said it or something. Obviously, I'm not listening to the commentary. I'm doing my own commentary here. I've just missed Yang bounce forward. Great tackle from... They've played like their strongest... a very strong version of their team all game. Ivan Frisneda still on the park, defending on that right-hand side. Corner kick for Celtic. With just over 7 minutes left on the clock. Can we get a third goal here? That would be something, wouldn't it? That would be something. Ball crossed in. Oh, it's on target. Austin Trusty came close. Caught by the Sporting keeper. Very good set piece from Celtic for a change. We actually made a chance out of a corner kick. Referee stopping up the game for a foul or something here. What's going on? Trusty unlucky there. Could have been 3-0 Celtic. We've been brilliant. We have been brilliant. Very impressed with what I've seen of Celtic today. Austin Trusty has the armband on, by the way. I love that. My Philly boy. Do it for the birds. Not the women. The Eagles. The birds there. Just making it very clear. Once again. Teetered on the line of sexism a couple of times in this stream, and I hope that we all understand that I'm not. People say Celtic reports Ida injured with medical assessment going on. Groin strain. Alright. Wow. Interesting. Look at Johnny Kenny go. Look at Johnny Kenny go. He's just met his match in his final man there. He was busting. He was desperate to get through everybody and get down that left hand side. Oh, here we go. Here's Marco Tellio. He slipped through Kenny. Oh, it's a great last-ditch tackle from the Sporting defender. Marco Tellio was dancing and tried to play a wee pass through to Johnny Kenny, but it was intercepted at the last possible moment by the Sporting defender. And now Sporting are moving forward as Donovan covers. Brilliant from Donovan on that right-hand side. Celtic have been brilliant. You could see Sporting are tired now, though. The legs are away from Sporting. If this is their first pre-season friendly, or one of their first they've probably played a couple behind closed doors or non-televised or just normal bounce games, but you can see they're looking a wee bit leggy offensively now at this point in the game, and Celtic are still just going for it. We're not letting off on them. Friendly game, we could just be like, let's just bring the pace of it down. Nope, we're still going, and here we go again as we advance into Sporting Lisbon's half. A ball sent out wide by Luke McCowan to Yang, who sends it back into the middle of the park. And now Celtic's just slowing the pace down a wee bit as Sporting get men back. The ruthless nature that I was talking about has just disappeared for a moment as Celtic play about with the ball. We only have 5 minutes left of the game, so if you are wanting anything answered or any talking points that you have, please get them in now before we go off in around 10 minutes time. We'll stay on for about 5 minutes or so after the game to wrap up and have some final conversation, but we'll be finishing up quite swiftly after the game. The playing through the press has been very impressive, says Mark. 100%. How has that big sausage got a groin injury? He's done nothing. Well, injuries happen doing anything in this world, in any sport. Where are the signings? Well, Inamura's on his way to Glasgow, we know that. Johnny Kenny getting a lot of praise in this second half. Ryan, how can I join the Discord? There are links flying about. Somebody throw in a Discord link. Just click the link and it'll take you there. Tiago, hello, welcome from Portugal. Lads, I'm a fan from Portugal and I'm visiting Glasgow in October. Do you guys think the game at home against Motherwell will be a good atmosphere at Celtic Park? It'll be good, it'll be fine. It'll be a full house. There'll be 60,000 there, or close to 60,000. Some season ticket holders don't bother turning up. It'll be good. It'll be like any other typical league game for Celtic. But if you can get a ticket, Tiago, it will be well worth your time going. As long as Celtic play well, the atmosphere will be good. Ryan trying to buy that XL and Vinted, but no international shipping. See, I was going to say I could put it on eBay for you, Philip, but I think even on eBay you can't ship to the States anymore. It's pretty irritating. I apologise. Vinted are like UK only, basically, I think, which is frustrating. However, what I will say is that shirt that is the XL, Philip, you could probably pick it up for not too much off the Celtic store as well. They sell it in the Celtic store if you're looking for an alternative, and they will, I assume, ship to the States. So that would be my next recommendation for that. Substitutions being made for Sporting now in the final moments of the game. Mortal, you're going to get people believing that if you keep up that pattern. Hi Ryan, how you doing? It says Ewan. I think we'll get any big name returns at SummerSlam. I think Goldberg should have been at SummerSlam. I hate Goldberg. I'm glad that we'll never see him again. I don't know. I can't think of any that come to mind. There's not exactly many free agents or such floating around. As long as the product picks up, I'm not too fussed about returns in that at the minute, because the product has been a bit for the last few months. 87.5 minutes played on the clock. Celtic in possession of the ball. I'm hopefully going to go to the Celtic Man U Legends game. I'd like to go with my dad. Arne Engel's being bullied to the ground here. That's a foul. Ref. Spotting him and getting fouls like that all game. As either doing the list of strikers again, well, if the injury's bad, then you never know. Bill Goldberg. I hope it's not a bad injury. I really don't. I really do. I hope it's not too bad, because I want him to succeed, man. I want every Celtic player to succeed, even the ones I don't particularly rate. I think we should all aim to want every Celtic. We all want to see Celtic players do well for the sake of the club. You know, only a minute and a half left. What a performance for Celtic tonight, by the way. Fantastic. Evolution was brilliant, to be fair, Kenny. I'll give them that. Evolution was a really good show. Dalglish. What's your thoughts on Alexander Isak joining Celtic? I would love that. Sadly, we don't have £160 million to spend. Thoughts on the Naomi cash in? Loved it. Loved All In as well. Thought All In was brilliant. Where's Benkovic these days? That is a forgotten name. United is in a shambles. Tell me about it, Philip. It's getting borderline atrocious at this point. It doesn't help that rat Jim Ratcliffe is running things to the ground. I'll repeat what I said earlier. You play with feathers, you get your arse tickled. Nearly at full time now. Teams are starting to get up and get themselves towards the tunnel. It's been a fantastic performance from Celtic this evening as we approach the last 30 seconds of the game. I know Boys Views tweets moaning about us losing. What a welcome change it is having over 1,300 people in here and people only moaning about losing when the B team is playing. Oh, fucking hell, we're done. Season's finished. That young boy will never make it. Like, key yourself, peace. Well, here we go. Final whistle should be coming any minute now, lads. It should be coming any minute now. Celtic 2-0 up against Sporting as we wait for the final whistle. Come on. Blow it. Blow the fucking thing. This referee's dying for Sporting to get a goal. 3 minutes. What are we adding 3 minutes on in a friendly for? What's that about? 3 fucking minutes. Why? There should just be a rule that in friendly games you add in no minutes. Like, why? What's the point? We are playing another 2.5 minutes of football, ladies and gents. But what a performance from Celtic tonight. Ryan, where's Danny Arzani when you need him? Hopefully nowhere near me. I cussed that boy in Tesco and I got a photo with him. And then the next weekend he broke his leg. I think I was a terror. I should never get my photos taken with Celtic players. Every Celtic player I met in Tesco, right? Here, let me run through the 3 that I decided to get photos with. Daniel Arzani, the next week he broke his leg. Patrick Klimala, we've seen how that went. And then I got a photo with Ismaila Soro when he was playing well. And after that photo, couldn't kick his arse. I had a terrible track record. Thank God I never got a photo with the good players that came in. I was off or in the break room or something, you know. I would love that. Sinsalo plays it out. Oh, a bit of risky passing here from Celtic. Get up the park and fucking finish the game. You know, finish it off. The game is gone, Shadow Snake. It's absolutely gone. 3 minutes. You know. Benkovic has played 33 games since he left Celtic. I think injuries really gubbed him up, didn't they? I think he just... Aye. Poor guy. Photo with Ryan, the kiss of death. I don't like wording it like that, but, you know, you could argue that is the case. Thanks for the commentary. Thank you, Sean, for your presence and your company this evening. I appreciate anybody that's tuned in to watch. With around a minute to go. Wow, you've really met the big hitters then. If it helps, I seen Griffiths. That went worse. Well, you know. So you used to get players coming into your Tesco all the time because we were right beside the stadium. But the good ones were always when I was on my break. I remember somebody running in like, Arthur Boric was out there. And I was like, what? Because it was a Legends game that weekend. And I fucking missed him because I was too busy eating pasta. I was raging. Right, well, 25 seconds left on the clock. The Klopp? The Jurgen Klopp. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, brother. How long left? 15 seconds to go. Celtic have a corner. There's a donation I'll get to in a second just as we watch this final corner kick. Will Celtic actually do anything with it? Or will they just see it out? They're going to get forced to see it out by the looks of it. And it's going to be over in 3, 2, 1. Blow the whistle, ref. Blow the whistle. There we go. Full time at the Estadio Algarve. And what a big win for Celtic in this pre-season. Sporting Club de Portugal 0, Celtic 2. Goals came through a Rio Hatate penalty. And then also on top of that, a Luke McCowan goal, which was a wonderful bit of football led by Johnny Kenny into the well-worked and composed feet of Luke McCowan. It was a fantastic performance from Celtic on the main part against a very strong Sporting side this evening. They played their big hitters. They played their Pedro Gonçalves. They played their Francisco Trincaos, their Morton Humans, their Ivan Fresnedas. And Celtic, without, the likes of Vickers and Johnson yet to return to the side, gave a very composed, very confident and very good Celtic performance. That's the sort of performances you want to see from Celtic heading into the new season. Minutes in the legs, which is of course important as well. We beat their press. We pressed very well. Defensively, we were brilliant. And offensively, we were really good. All the NFL teams flying the chat now. It was a great performance from Celtic tonight, and we looked much better than we looked at the weekend. So Celtic 2, Sporting now, and that finishes off the fourth pre-season friendly of the campaign before we play Newcastle at the weekend. Thank you to Tony for his donation, by the way. He said, good job on the play-by-play. Will you do more of these? Also, Eagles suck, bud. I'm a Chargers fan. Boo, the Chargers. Eagles champs, baby. I will be doing more of these. Thank you, mate, for your donation, though. First and foremost, Tony, you're a legend. God bless. We'll be doing these all through pre-season. What we still have to go is, let me just get the list up. And we'll finish off with 5 minutes of conversation before I wrap it up tonight. We'll have Newcastle at 3 o'clock on Saturday. We're doing a watch along for that. And don't worry, it won't cost you £25 to come and watch. It's absolutely free. We will then have Ajax on the following Thursday, the 24th of July, which will be followed on the Saturday by another game in the Como Cup. And that will be me done for the pre-season watch-alongs. There we go. Fantastic. Great win for Celtic tonight. Very strong performance in Portugal. And I'm very happy with that. Trusty did look good, I thought, in the second half. I thought he looked much, much better. Sorry for all the sad Bengals fans and Panthers fans and Patriots fans and Broncos fans in the chat. Eagles on top, baby. Go Birds. On that note, I am going to just wrap it up there because I'm chatting absolute nonsense and we're well beyond the 2 hour mark. We had over 1,300 live viewers tonight. My Ryan 118 man of the match goes to Benjamin Nigren. So congratulations to him, who I thought had a fantastic game tonight. Thank you to all of you who joined me for this evening's live stream. I enjoyed it once again, and you guys are really, you're the thing that makes it worth its while. So take care of yourself, enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next